one. Welcome, one and all. It is Bite-Size Media. It is Bite-Size Thursday here at Off Slate Media.
You just say Bite-Size Me, Dia?
I didn't say Bite-Size Udia.
That was worse than what I did.
That was arguably worse. We are watching Avatar, ladies and gentlemen. If you are not new here, if you are
I was
here,
eating dinner.
What's the way?
I don't know what they were doing.
We're watching Avatar. We're working our way. We are. How many more episodes are in this season? Because today we're watching Day of the Black Sun
Part 1. Yeah, there's like 8 or 9 episodes after this.
Oh, that's way more than I thought.
Well, if you count the finale as one.
Okay.
So we're in the home stretch, especially. This is like the big.
We're getting.
This is the biggest episode thus far. It's bigger than everything else.
Yeah.
Because this is what we've been building up to.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Since the library.
Yeah. I didn't even argue since the very first episode. We've kind of been building to this. I know the library kind of.
You could say that about any episode after the first episode.
Yeah.
But specifically, this plot point has been built up for over a season, and it's finally here.
It's finally here. I am so excited. These are great episodes, y'all. I'm hyped to watch this.
Yeah.
I remember, because the subtitle is The Invasion, this is mostly action sequences of them invading the capital.
I see. Okay.
That's all I remember.
I get it. This is a big one. This has to be a two-parter. There's a lot of information to get out there. It makes sense for it.
It's not even just information. Like, if I recall, like, the first half is, because it's the invasion and the eclipse, the first half is them fighting, and the second half is, because I remember all the stuff with the Fire Lord, and everyone knows the Zuko thing. Like that. It's the big stuff of the series you remember.
It really is. And I honestly, I could not even imagine having to watch this during the like the actual live when it came out, because like I would see this and I'm just like, are we getting a finale? Like, do we know? Like, did they know when this was releasing that this was not the finale?
Right. Like the people making it, yeah.
Oh, well, the people making it, obviously.
So I would have guessed that people know that it's not the finale, because I feel like Nick would have made a big deal about it being.
I feel like they still made a big deal about it. Period.
I mean, they did. I just not as big of a deal as what they would have made it to be, because like the actual finale was like a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's watch.
All right, let's do this. Let's
take a bite.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just watched the. Oh my god! I almost called it the Curse of the Black Pearl.
Why did you what?
We're watching Black Hole Sun. Won't you get?
Day of the Black Sun, Part 1, The Invasion.
What is happening right now?
I made some jokes.
Oh.
But
those were
neither
jokes?
of you laughed at them, even though
those were jokes?
Those were great jokes, by the
man.
way. Just saying.
All those butterscotch must be going in my head.
They were almost as good as this episode was to view, because this is such a good episode. I love it. Watching this, I thought, and obviously just making the show for as long as they get better and better and better at each episode. But I just kept looking at like how good like the animation looked in this, like the action sequences. I thought were perfectly choreographed and beautiful. It was so easy to follow. Oh my god!
And we got the gang back together.
And we got the gang back together. Yep. Yeah.
Who's out there communing with nature?
Don't forget the boulder.
The boulder. So it's the boulder and the other big guy who were the former bending wrestler dudes. Mm-hmm. And then we got the swamp guy, including Hugh, the big monster guy.
I have a question. Why couldn't all of them do that with the seaweed?
Because it's only Hugh. But we're not told how the swamp works.
I forgot about that. I managed to push that from my memory.
You want to go again, Jake?
And then we got the two firefighters, the dad and the earthbenders, the dad and the son.
Yeah.
From one of the early.
That's the first season.
For all we know, that might be
third
the
episode.
Yeah.
That might be the farthest back any of these characters here are. That come back.
It's not like Gran showed up. That would have been.
Oh, they would have won.
Yeah.
Dude, you get Gran on your side, you're set.
But
that's all you need.
For real though, why? Okay, I forget. Were they going to the north? They were going to the North Pole, right? In the first season.
Yeah.
Why did no one from the North show up?
Because then they would have won.
question.
I don't know.
That's a good question, Jake. I don't know.
My
to be-
guess would be they're fighting the war elsewhere because they're kind of by themselves now, the Water Tribe. Because the Earth Kingdom fell and the Air Nomads
been gone.
are no more.
That's fair.
Like, it's kind of a Britain situation in World War II. Like, they're all by themselves. It's literally what it is.
That comparison is funny.
It's true. They're by themselves. So that's my guess. And they don't really need to explain it because it's more about, hey, here's our little ragtag group.
Also, the only one that would come that would be any sort of recognizable is Paku, and Paku has other things happening.
Yep.
We are missing a crucial character from everybody getting back together.
Who?
Where's Jet?
He's dead.
It's really unclear.
But we did get, but there's Pipsqueak and the Duke.
Yeah, Pipsqueak and Duke.
They came back, and then of course they called him the Mechanist, right?
Yeah, that was a weird name.
Yeah, because I thought
I'd never heard
I thought
that
it was the
before.
inventor, but he called him the
I
Mechanist.
also thought he was the inventor.
That's what Sokka said.
Yeah.
But he's back because he created the subs and the tank things, and then his son, who's in the wheelchair, is back too.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's going to be really weird when they do that in Netflix. I don't know how I feel about that.
What's gonna be weird about it? Like, what do you mean?
I don't trust Netflix to handle that.
He thinks Netflix is going to be ableist.
Oh, wow.
Or try so hard to not be ableist that it ends up being ableist.
Offensive.
Yeah.
Kind of what they're
You
doing.
can be offensively ableist.
Yeah, and kind of what they're doing to Sokka.
I'm sure you can. I'm
You
only gonna
don't
say
know,
that because
but
I don't know.
I can. Let me say that. I will
I'm
say
not
that.
going to tell you what you can or can't do. I'm going to
think
sit
there's a
here
lot-
and smile. Yeah, is there anyone else with... Wasn't Batu there too? I always forget what he looks like. They're all wearing the
They all
wolf
have a
helmets.
similar sort of hairdo.
And honestly, really quick, I want to mention those wolf costumes look dope.
Dude, Bato, not Batu. Bato.
Bato of the water, yeah. But yeah, no, I just want to really quick mention that. Love those wolves.
Batu of the Water Tribe.
Bato.
Isn't
Because he
Bat-
kept...
It's Bato.
Bato. Because he
Is
kept
it-
saying Balto.
Isn't Batu the spirit in Korra?
That's Vatu.
Oh.
So close.
Or, if it's RRR, it's Natu.
Ah, okay.
That's such a good song.
Such a good song.
But so all of our friends
the whole
meet
gang
up.
is back together.
back together again. They all get together for this invasion, and they're storming the palace, and
And honestly,
it ends with
it's a good cliffhanger.
yeah,
It's a great
the
cliffhanger.
Where's the Fire Lord?
where's the Fire Lord?
Where's the fire?
Where are my cabbages?
He should have showed up.
Yes,
They would've
instead
won.
of Ozai.
The Reinolds charge him, and he just throws cabbages into their mouths, and they stop, and they're all happy.
Oh my
and
dude,
he
I'd
would
be
have been,
happy
my cabbages. See, there you go.
That's how you win.
They
the
would've
war.
won.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Oh, Cabbage Man and Graham.
dude,
Just the two of them
Those
show
two?
up, and they take down
Oh,
the
man.
whole Fire Nation, whole thing.
we don't even need the White Lotus. Just need those.
The
two.
White who?
The White Lotus.
I know. I'm saying White who?
Oh,
We got
oh, yeah.
Graham and the Cabbage Man.
Ava.
Graham and the Cabbage Man sounds like a 70s like psychedelic group, like some kind of acid rock. Graham and the Cabbage Man.
that sounds like a Beatles song, honestly.
I'm gonna start a band and call it Graham and the Cabbage Man.
I like it.
That's your next Hootie album.
Yeah. Graham and the Cabbage Man.
And honestly, I love the submarines. The submarines in this are cool, and I like that they use them with bending the water around them.
We all live in a bending submarine.
I was gonna say there were moments, and you heard me, where it's like,
Yeah, you
for all the
mentioned-
people who complain about the tech jump in Korra, we have submarines, we have bombs, and blimps.
Mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Like the tech is like, if you think about how tech in
A
our
space
reality,
sword.
it's a little different.
That's kind of different.
Maybe.
I was gonna say, if you look at like our reality and how technology progressed. Like, and if it's the same for them or similar, like, makes sense.
Yeah.
It's jarring if you're not ready for it.
I think that's
but
more just
it
people
makes
being
sense.
babies and not wanting it to.
Oh, it
be
is
that
people
way.
being babies. It's because it doesn't feel the same because it's not the same. It's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
But when I was watching this, I'm like, okay, they literally have submarines with torpedoes. The blimps are dropping bombs. We're like, this is like Industrial Revolution. Like,
And the blimps are metal.
Yeah.
like
It's not that
having like Model T looking cars in Korra is not that far off from what they have. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
when I watched Korra, I remember thinking like, this is a bit jarring because I didn't realize how much. But then now watching this, it's like, that's the natural progression. It literally
And
is.
then also, wasn't it like 60-some years between the two, wasn't it? Didn't
Yeah.
Aang live for like 60 years after the
60
end
more
of the
years,
show?
yeah. So it makes sense. Yeah. I was going to say about the Day of the Black Sun two-parter. I remember all the commercials. I remember how big of a deal it was. I didn't see it live. I didn't see, as I've said many times, I didn't see it, but I saw like the last run of episodes, so I completely missed all I knew, because my friend, you don't know him, because he was watching too, he had watched it, and I'm like, oh, I haven't seen it. He's like, oh, they lose. Thanks!
We're not even talking about that episode.
Yeah, I know. We all know they lose, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the big thing. That's why it's just funny, like, this big two-parter, this big thing they build up. Oh, they lose. Thanks. But I'm looking at the list. Every episode after this, I watched live. Week to
really?
week. Like, the way they rolled out, or not week to week. It might have been day to day. Like, they were doing, I think I've mentioned it. Like,
I don't remember that, but
I just
I'd
remember they
learned not
kept
to
playing it.
question your memory.
Yeah, and I'm looking at, like, the year. This is the last, these two episodes are the last ones in 07, because then the rest of it's in 08, and I'm like, yeah, I think they rolled them out one after another and ended with the big Sozin's Comet finale all in one.
It makes you wonder if Nick made them rush it out. Say, like, we're just done with the show. It needs to be done by this time frame.
They might have.
Yeah. I mean, if they did rush them, they did a pretty good job. It's, at least from what I remember, and then what we've seen so far this season, it's pretty well paced.
Yeah. Really
It's fast moving because kind of have to. This is the end game.
Yeah. It needs that level of intensity. And I mean, this episode was intense as hell.
And the big thing for me was like watching the trailer and seeing Aang and Katara kiss. That was everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, that's big.
It was a cute moment. I really, my heartstrings were tugging.
It's actually really, not really, but it's a
What does
little
it feel like
awkward.
to have a heart, Dickie?
Well, it's supposed to be awkward. It's their
I know.
first kiss. Your first
Their first kiss
is
in
always-
reality, because remember he kissed her in the
that's
episode
true.
before in his weird daydream. But
Nightmares and day screams.
Yeah, nice curse.
I was going to say, though, I mentioned this out loud. He kisses her, and it catches her off guard, but she blushes because there are those feelings. And what I appreciate, it's not this, like, sweet little moment only. There's this, like, off look she gives. Like, she doesn't know how to feel about it.
Yeah.
And I like that because she doesn't have to say anything. And even there's, like, one moment later where her dad's like, are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yeah, it's fine. It's like, yeah, that'd put you in a funk. It's kind of like a,
mean,
whoa!
yeah.
And I don't think they bring it up until the Ember Island players. I think he brings it up to her because he's like, what about this? And she's like, are you kidding? Like, there's too much happening right now, dude.
Okay.
That's what I
I
remember.
think that's literally what she says. There's too much happening right now, dude.
That sounds like a guitar line. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, that was a very cute.
But yeah,
moment. That was good.
we know what happens at the end of this. But I mean, that's
What?
part one. Part one is the Fire
I
Lord's
have
not on his
never
throne.
seen this show before. What are you talking about?
You've seen it more than me.
That is true.
Anything else about the part oneer? It's a oneer, and then next week we're going to do our tour. Hey.
Of what?
That's tour is a funny word. Anyway, thank you for listening to our.
I thought he was making a poop joke.
I thought about it, but I made a lot of poop jokes already, so.
That's never stopped you before.
No, that's true. Well,
In truth, he hasn't made that many jokes. He's said things that are supposed to be jokes.
That's funny.
Well, poop on a stick. Jared, where can they find us online?
You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, the funny TikTok, and X. And you can listen to us on Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. And hey, if it's YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, ring our bell, and rate us and like us and comment or whatever on all those other app things. And check out our groovy website.
Absolutely. So yes, thanks. And obviously stay tuned next week. We got part 2 coming up. Give that a watch and tune back in. And until then...
Tune back in.
So every Thursday you want to hear us talk about Avatar, make sure to...
Take a bite.